my former party members, and I wonder what they must think of themselves and what their children must think of them as elected representatives who won't even show up for a moment of silence to remember those Capitol Hill cops, remember the sacrifice, remember the terror. So many of those Republicans calling home and being concerned.
Look at this.
Believing that their lives were in danger a year ago today, or yesterday, horrified. And only Liz Cheney and Vice President Dick Cheney showed up on the Republican side of the chamber. And it was the same thing in a candlelight vigil later that night. Again, the Republican Party now taking the position that a riot at the United States Capitol, where people were deliberately trying to stop an insurrection or commit sedition against the United States of America, that came to try to stop the counting of votes, of electoral votes, which, by the way, is sedition against the United States of America. And the fact that people are offended when you call it that or when you call it an insurrection speaks volumes. But, I was thinking yesterday as I was watching Joe Biden, I said, well, he's tried to bring this country together. He's tried to tell progressives to be patient and to try to work bipartisan deals out with Republicans. But obviously he decided yesterday that he was going to be more aggressive. But just re-listening to it now, it's kind of sad, I guess, if you're in a political party where you think the truth is somehow ideological. He said, I was just writing these down, that he rallied the mob to attack the U.S. Capitol. Well, that's what the former president did. He said the former president watched it in his White House in a private dining room and did nothing. We have testimony from all of his staff members. That's exactly what he did, that he spread a web of lies about elections. He did that. So what Karl Rove was talking about yesterday, what other Republicans have talked about, what Mitch McConnell's talked about, what the Republicans have said time and time again, unless, of course, they're scared of their own voters. He also pointed out, Willie, that 93 United States senators disagreed with him and said he was lying about a stolen election, that his own attorney general called that stolen election. And I am quoting Attorney General Barr here, saying that Donald Trump's claims were nothing but, quote, bullshit, that his own vice president rejected his false claims, that the governors and the legislators in every battleground state rejected his lies. Of course, over 60 federal judges, federal courts rejected those lies. The United States Supreme Court rejected those lies. Even the two most conservative members of the Supreme Court, Alito and Thomas, said, well, why don't we take up this Pennsylvania case? Now, it's not going to make a difference in the outcome of the race because there aren't enough disputed ballots to change it into the Trump column. But just for legal reasons, we'll take a listen. But even the most conservative members of Trump's Supreme Court said there just wasn't anything to see there. And so I guess, Willie, that's triggering for a lot of Trumpists. But doesn't that speak volumes? Like those are all the objective truths that you can see in a Rupert Murdoch-owned newspaper, that you can see in the Wall Street Journal. Those are objective truths that we all know, that you could get judicial notice of in any court in the land. And yet that was triggering to Trumpists yesterday, who were doing their best to Baghdad Bobs to say that there was nothing to see here and to move along. But I do think yesterday served a very useful purpose, not only remembering the sacrifices of those Capitol Hill cops, but also just to once again show cast a light on just how wretched the House Republicans have become.